Aloha, welcome.
Oh, we've been doing this for 30 years over here at Honokahua, and it's hard to think that this thing could ever end. We've had kids grow up and become adults, 30-year-old adults, coming to this every year. Even us adults for 30 years, we become more akamai every time we come over here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we've been open 30 years at the hotel, and the very foundation of everything that we do resonates from our point right out front here. And the fact that we get to open up our doors once a year to everybody to come and celebrate that, it's pretty special.
It's 30 years of knowledge that just keeps coming like a wave, and you just absorb all of this. And it's been a lot of hard work, yes, but it's been a labor of love to bring all the Kanaka together and to share their wisdom. And it's a time when Hawaiians can come home, be comfortable in where they are.
Welcome to Honokahua. We come together to celebrate our culture. We come to celebrate and honor the iwi at Honokahua, a place where Hawaiian culture becomes so important and so alive.
We need to respect our kupuna. Coming here and celebrating is a good way to celebrate our ancestors. And when I come, I take my flutes, which I make, and I go down to where our kupuna are buried, and I play for them.
Rejuvenate, educate, share, camaraderie. If you have that every day in your life, 30 years is a blink of an eye.
Aloha, welcome.
Oh, we've been doing this for 30 years over here at Honokahua, and it's hard to think that this thing could ever end, because what they started, it's like tradition already for many families. We've had kids grow up and become adults, 30-year-old adults, coming to this every year. Even us adults for 30 years, we become more akamai every time we come over here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we've been open 30 years at the hotel, and the very foundation of everything that we do resonates from our point right out front here. And the fact that we get to open up our doors once a year to everybody to come and celebrate that, it's pretty special.
30 years went by in a blink because it's 30 years of knowledge that just keeps coming like a wave, and you just absorb all of this. And it's been a lot of hard work, yes, but it's been a labor of love to bring all the Kanaka together and to share their wisdom. And it's a time when Hawaiians can come home, be comfortable in where they are, and enjoy each other's company.
Welcome to Honokahua. 30 years that we come together to celebrate our culture. We come to celebrate and honor the iwi at Honokahua, and a place where Hawaiian culture becomes so important and so alive. Something that's badly needed around. Authenticity in Hawaiian culture, and You know, along with the haka, the laughter, the chants, the protocols, the ava, everything exists in the Hawaiian culture.
We need to respect our kupuna. Coming here and celebrating is a good way to celebrate our ancestors. And when I come, I take my flutes, which I make, and I go down to where our kupuna are buried, and I play for them. And of course, our kupuna are still here, and we need to keep on connecting with our kupuna.
It's 30 years of growing trust between our practitioners, between the musicians and the dancers, the cooks. It is a time when they all come together and they want to participate. And that's the great thing, is just this trust and this camaraderie that it took 30 years to build. But it just keeps on building and building, like the largest swell in the ocean that reaches our shore every year.
This has been, I would say, a pico here on Maui. And when it first so-called planted, it emerged, just like how our limo starts from its little spore. And because of that, it has helped to ignite our local people, our native people, to recognize what they have and the treasures they have that they don't realize that's in their own backyard. We may find it in the books, but we would not have places to actually keep it going. And that's how our people taught, was by living it and doing it, and how they found that connection to everything.
I love it. You know, I've been blessed. I've been asked and called upon by Uncle Clifford to be a presenter. So I've presented hula, I've done lectures, I've done discussion panels. I've also done, as I'm 8th generation Lomi Lomi practitioner, demonstrations and sessions for the guests that come to participate in Celebration of the Arts in Lomi Lomi, or different Hawaiian modalities that speak to body work and things of that nature. Yeah.
Well, actually, we're here for Waihe'e Limu restoration, and primarily our purpose is to educate and bring awareness, and to also, most important, is to revive or replant our native limu species. And we hope that we could, in that process, be able to help increase our marine life on our reef, and for everyone, for sustainability. That's our food, our refrigerator.
The limu project, it's been for a while. Well, it's nice to see some of the limu that we had sent back. They're now raising it in the lab. So I'm glad. They, I think, told me about from 2007 or something. They've been growing limu that we had collected here, and it came from Kahului Harbor.
So next month I'll make 29 years weaving. It's an ancient art. I learned from 7 different kupuna here from Maui and the Big Island. Most of my kumu are passed now, but so I just keep on their work.
When you be a master, yeah, man, you be invited to the celebration of the arts. And when people come look at your work, yeah, you can say, I'm not the best artist, but I'm one of the best, yeah? And people gonna love you and like to know, how do you do this art? You gotta keep that life living again. If you don't, yeah, practice that work, yeah, you lose it.
Well, you know, for years, you know, especially with the celebration of arts, a lot of my work that I do, you know, it goes far back. Yeah, so far back. And not just one thing, you know, where you see the hina'i, the weaving of baskets and traditional fish traps and whatnot. But, you know, from bone work to stone work, yeah, as well as woodwork, you know, the mekawa that you see, you know, this is what we, you know, I myself, you know, embrace so much. Like I have my grandson with me, you know, he's my apprentice right now, you know, he's hungry to learn more. So it's all about the young and the younger, yeah, you know. and how we pass this on, that was passed on to us, generation to generation. So it's more the importance of, what we keep alive today.
In 2018, I was designated a Living Treasure of Hawaii for name giving and also for whaling, for funerals and whaling. But I've been doing lectures about name giving and the mores and the cultural practices in name giving and listing different types of names and how they've been processed, given, shared, or whatever. Yeah.
The biggest thing about Aloha is sharing. You need to share what we know instead of keeping it with you. Share everything we got because you cannot take it with you. The more you share, the more peaceful the world will be. No need to be greedy. And when you're down and out, just grab an ukulele and kani kapila.
I was asked graciously by Clifford Naole to come and speak about haka. Haka is a way that we express using our whole bodies. Our genealogy, our stories, our history. It's well known for us to use our eyes, our entire bodies, our voices to illustrate without any accompaniment other than the slapping of our bodies and the stamping of our feet, our waiwai, our history and who we are uniquely as Maori.
Today's workshop was the Hawaiian language, and so I decided to just share a little bit of the basics, especially what we teach our younger kids. Things such as the hakalama. Hakalama is an important tool, or the syllabary, which combines all of the words, our Hawaiian language, and where there's culture, where there's language, the culture lives. It becomes that kuleana, and this is one of the things I've been hearing in a lot of the conversations today between all the different panels is about the kuleana. So that's really what it is. And here we get to celebrate, we get to be in all of it, but I think where it really counts is when we take it beyond our shores and start to teach, people about what it is and who we are as a culture.
This is where we can get our younger generation to get more interested, more hungry for, what their bloodline is, like what was passed on for them for generations. Yeah.
I think, first of all, congratulations to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. Congratulations to all of the I would say, first of all, general manager for you allowing this to happen, and then also for, Mr. Naiole and all of his great vision that has caused this. And I love that he acknowledged those who helped in the beginning days, like Auntie Lydia Namahana Maioho, and her help and advisory, and the other kupuna that were here. For me, I would implore that every hotel should be doing something like this as a give back to our culture. They should be doing this. And I'm sure that the visitors who come here to stay in these hotels also would want to come to these things. And this is free. Anybody can come to this. That's what's beautiful. They don't have to pay to come to see their culture alive. And I will also advocate that I believe most people come to Hawaii do care and want to see what the culture is and that it's alive.
Celebration of the Arts will continue beyond its 30 years, and we look forward to the future of that wave hitting our shore every single year. Rejuvenate, educate, share, camaraderie. If you have that every day in your life, 30 years is a blink of an eye, because it becomes a legacy after that. Yeah, 30 years, blink of an eye.
Yes, we call upon our Amakua, our ancestors, those that are not seen but yet still here with us. Those that have gone before, those that continue to influence us, and those that will influence our families for generations yet to come. Those that guide us constantly because we hear them in the wind. We hear their voices rushing past us. We see them in the things that they leave for us. But most of all, we know that our Amakua are Ohana. And for us, Ohana is the most important thing that you can have.
We're limited to what we don't know in life. Those are our limitations. We are the most blessed people on the face of this earth. Come into this place with an open mind and an open heart, relationship, love, understanding. And perhaps the limitations that you have in your life right now will be broadened because now you have a new experience of what life is like for us here in paradise.
O ki hai kalani, o we kalani, lululu kalani, ka holo kalani. E ia ka pula pula o ko, o e na Amakua. E malama o ko ya mako, e ului kalani, e ului ka honua, e ului ka pai aina o Hawaii. E ho mai kaike, e ho mai kai kaika, e ho mai ke aka mai, e ho mai ka mau popopono, e ho mai kaike papalua, e ho mai ka man.
The LA calling the sun. If you notice, everything stops. All the trees, all the animals, they stop and wait for the sun to come because the sun brings us this cultural energy that we need to bring us energy in life. And so when we call on the sun, we're actually receiving that energy that's coming into us.
Prayer does not matter in what form, what language it may come in. It's all a matter of belief and faith and understanding in those words. That is the evolution of the Spirit. We're tied by the same universal force of life. To come and know who your God is. No matter what you call him, the manner in which you were raised to see God is specific to your experience, and it should not be limited to that experience. It should be as large as the world is. That's how large the heart needs to be, so that we finally have Malukia on this earth, peace.
It's constant growth, just as in life, it unfurls. And as time evolved and the consciousness evolved about what this event was about, we understood that there needs to be more Hawaiianness infused here so that the Hawaiians can find a place to come and talk about themselves, to ask questions about themselves, to learn, and hopefully make some decisions for the future, along with the common ground of art and hula and dance and food, and it's a celebration, absolutely. I get to dream, but the ladies and gentlemen of this hotel make it come true, and that's why it works. It's about showing aloha both ways, from visitor to local, to employee, to managers right across the line. Aloha is the common denominator. On the female entity, we honor today Emma Viri, and I knew her voice as a child growing up as well, and my dad would play her records, and Emaviri was a common name, is still a common name, a very respected common name. So we honored her today with the Namahala Award of Excellence for all that she's done for our people for many, many years. On the ku side, on the male side, of Original Hopi, an icon of Hawaiian Leo Kie, the songbird of Hawaiian folks singing, whose heart is just as gentle as he is a singer. From the village of Kahakuloa, Uncle Richard has made many people smile and continues to make you smile with his song. Hawaiian to me is as your life unfurls, looking backwards, understanding from whence you came, knowing that we are here because some Polynesians survived a long voyage across the ocean, and that they were chosen because they were the best. Being Hawaiian is understanding that that DNA is a privileged DNA. It is a DNA that said you are an expert. It's a DNA that says you still are an expert. Go out, don't waste your DNA, learn more and more and more about your people as you can, and make a contribution to the world. Don't just let us stay here. You help your people, you help your kupuna, your family, your friends, but your contribution should be 7 generations down the line.
We're here at the Ritz-Carlton Kapalua Beach Resort, and it's really awesome because we have a lot of kupuna elders and masters or kahuna in their field from the different aspects or way of life of our people, the Kanaka Maoli. And it's truly a place of connecting and socializing and gathering of mana'o, of thoughts and ideas and knowledge and ike of the future and what the future holds for us. A lot of the answers for the management of our resources, for example, is found in the way of life of the ancient people, our kupuna, our Hawaiian ancestors. So here we are, ha'aheo, proud as a people, and not only for the Hawaiian, also for the Kama'aina, the people, the children of the land, the people that now make Hawaii their home. They can also enrich and enhance their lives by connecting with the host culture here. And you know, it's just something that's very powerful and beautiful.
I got into it because doing my genealogy, found out that both of my dad's grandmothers were weavers, lauhala weavers. This kind of an art festival just allows people to see the real thing, you know, and get involved and, you know, learn a lot more from the culture than what they see outside.
My wife primarily does pilis, Hawaiian patch blankets. And then I do the traditional musical instruments and tools and weapons.
What it represents and how it's made and where you get it from. And
about 3-4 years ago, I turned it over to my son, so there's a legacy to be left.
It is very important of the celebrations that we attend or make an effort to go, to sit in the audience and to listen and to inherit the good that comes out of a celebration. I am a person that has self-thought in playing the ukulele by watching my kupuna after hard days of work in the kalo'ai, in the gardens, and the aina. I will sit down with a home brewer and grab the pila such as the ukulele and sing the old medleys of songs. No fanciness, just carry on the way my voice would carry on with my ukulele and be happy of how you present to be honored today. And I really, really appreciate it. And thank our kupunas, thank our audiences most of all. Thank the person that is in my heart and your heart that is wiser and larger than you and I.
I know we're doing the po, and so we loam all the po all the way down to the arms. And we take got all the ala right off from the fingertips here.
Something Hawaiian and to teach something Hawaiian. Making a Hawaiian pahu drum. So like you can make a hula pahu or on tempo pahu or on ceremony pahu. And it's forever. You know, we get drums around the world and drums in the bishop museums around the world and been there for like centuries already. And so like I say, the life we began as hula pahu or hula heao.
It was in the 1930s now, mind you. And we discovered that I could make money singing. And that's where it started. So I've been singing my way around the world. I sang at some of the best places.
Our love is always for the kihepili because that is what we sleep with in the home. It started really with using the leftovers, sharing whatever fabric that they had. I have been doing it over 60 years. With my mother, with my grandmother, and with her family, for the young ones to come and learn firsthand, for the eldest to come to share firsthand their knowledge and appreciation of what our young people are trying to do and sharing them a know.
I'm glad to see that people are just now getting involved with the language and the culture and just bringing it back full force. And it's a great feeling to see that happening. You know, that's the Hawaiian way. We love what we do and we just go ahead and pour it out whenever someone comes by.
Don't forget aloha. Malama the aloha. You know, the love. Take care of the love. I think aloha also encompasses standing up for what you know is pono, what is right. Nature is so beautiful, all the places we get to visit, and when you can add music and song to that, that's a very special time. Celebrating the culture. The beauty of Hawaii is more than just the natural surroundings. It's its people, the way people share aloha. We're very happy to be ourselves, to share aloha. But it cannot be one directional. It has to go back and forth.
So, for us, again, emphasis is on family, from grandparent to parent to child and grandchild. Every single element is important to us. Okay? So teach your children and grandchildren well, so that when you leave this physical earth, the goodness that you get left them will carry on for generations to come.
Aloha, this is Cliff Naoli welcoming you to the 22nd Annual Celebration of the Arts.
Aloha, and I am so happy to welcome you all to Celebration of the Arts. It is an amazing time for local people and for our visitors to come together and to understand and to share what Hawaiian culture is all about, what we are all about, and to see us in our natural environment.
The LA calling the sun. If you notice, everything stops. All the trees, all the animals, they stop and wait for the sun to come because the sun brings us this cultural energy that we need to bring us energy in life. And so when we call on the sun, we're actually receiving that energy that's coming into us.
I'm here to celebrate the arts at Ritz-Carlton Kapalua with Clifford and Naiole. And I'm very pleased that we get to celebrate the flute, the Ohehano Ihu, a very important instrument for Hawaiian people.
I'm a Lauhala weaver, and I learned from some of the kupunas, 4 from Maui, 3 from the Big Island, and they taught me all kinds of stuff. And it's old Hawaiian art, or Polynesian art anyway, and I've been doing it for, this will be 21 years now.
I've been fortunate to be here for the first one. I missed only one out of the 22 of them, and every year it just gets better. The quality of Hawaiian culture is enhanced because of programs like this, and not only the cultural practices, but the whole kuka, when people start talking to each other. Even people that don't normally talk to each other come here and they start talking to each other. And Clifford brings such interesting topics that make us think. And I know a lot of important Hawaiian decisions were made as a result of people that just happen to be here talking. And for me, I've learned so much more about the culture outside of my hana and stuff like that because of things like this event.
I enjoy putting this on every year. The hard part is, how do you top it off every single year? How do you beat it? And I gotta take a sense of growth,
growth in going deep into Hawaiian issues, growth in going forward and trying to imagine what Hawaii will be like New Year 2020. So involving all of those, what was, what is, what will be, I think that's what makes Celebration of the Arts, is inviting people who want to think about these things. We use what was to understand what is, and then push us forward. That's Celebration of the Arts.
I try to keep the culture alive here. And nobody wants to do this kind of stuff because it's too hard. So my goal is to teach the kekes how to do all these kind of things so it can stay here with us in the next generation. The woods I use mostly are koa. I like to use koa because it's a native wood from Hawaii. And a lot of the stuff that I do is canoe paddles, canoes, all the things to do with Hawaii. Lahala strippers, tapa beaters, whatever people need to keep the culture going, I can make it.
Oe kapala is our bamboo printing, okay? And what it is that it comes from our kapa making. So basically, we're using the ohe, or the bamboo. These are specific designs based upon our elements within our places, and it tells us where we're from, based upon our ocean, our reef, our river, our valley, our wind, our puhala from the hala tree or the pandanus tree, and that is the fruit from this tree right here behind me. Fruit of the tree dries, it falls onto the ground, and we don't waste it because that could be for our brush.
I'm from Niihau, born and raised on Niihau, and I do the Niihau shells. I come here every year to do that.
22 years is such a fantastic record and event to go on, and I've been here for 21 of them, and I'm so fortunate that Clifford always calls me and to come and help, and I think the Hawaiian culture really owes Clifford a big recognition.
The film is Malamako Aloha and Manono. Such a beautiful lady, Auntie Nona. She was protecting the culture. Her celebration was Malamako Aloha. And that's what we're doing here too, We're celebrating the arts.
Hey, mahalo for being here this is our official Maui premiere for our film, Auntie Nona Beaver Malamako Aloha. And I was blessed to have worked with Auntie for nearly 15 years and filming her journey and working with Keola and the whole Beaver Ohana. And it's kind of changed my life. If you guys ever, I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you worked with Auntie, you met her, she had that effect to just change you.
For us, she represented many things. But one thing for sure, she represented the rainbow that keeps us connected to who we are. Nona teaches us how to tell our story in different ways and how to reach out to people to bring them on our side.
To you, Kupuna, Wahauia Oko, for all your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Maui oko for your boy Kiki to take over where you left off. And here we try to do the best that we can.
You know, we were all fortunate enough to have spent time with Auntie Nona. And for those of you that don't know Auntie Nona, I promise you by the end of this film, you think that you knew Auntie the rest of your life. You knew her all your life.
Mahalo to Ken for sharing her story with all of us tonight, and I'm sure all of us have our own stories of our time that Auntie Nona shared with us. Take care of your love. And that was her battle cry. Malamako Aloha.
Aloha and welcome to HawaiiOnTV.com Networks. I'm your host, Ken Martinez Burgmaier, and we're here at the beautiful Ritz-Carlton in Kapalua here on Maui for the 25th annual Celebration of the Arts. It's an incredible Hawaiian cultural experience that we're going to give you an inside track to on HawaiiOnTV.com.
This weekend is the 25th annual Celebration of the Arts that goes on. It's been going on, 25 years now at the Ritz-Carlton. We just bring in all the practitioners from around the state, and they get to show what they're good at in terms of, the cultural arts especially.
All the activities of the world, what I like to refer to as the mundane. We gotta kind of like put that aside, go from the mundane into the cultural and the spiritual so we can do this work. Now this is especially important now at the Celebration of the Arts because we are here to educate, we are here to become, we are here to tell our story in our many different ways. And in order to do that, we need to be almost totally out of our mundane into our cultural, spiritual realm. And this whole ceremony this morning, the hiuwai, going in the ocean and releasing the negative, and preparing ourselves and letting all that unnecessary things just float away.
It's where we go into the ocean and you spend time by yourself, separated from everybody as much as you can, and you reflect. You reflect on your life, you reflect on the events that are happening in your life, but at the same time, you call your kupuna, your ancestors, and your creator to come with you and make sense of stuff. And then relieve you of all that burden. So that when you come out of the water and then you go into the event with an unfiltered mind.
Dream about what I want to learn about, and then I create these topics and invite the people to come in and talk about it. The unfortunate part is I'm so busy I never get to attend the event, but the main thing is that the topics are discussed between everybody in a safe haven, and philosophies are expressed, and everybody walks away asking more questions, which means that, you know, there's progress ahead. It's always about moving forward. It's not where you begin, it's where you end. So we're still going, we're still learning. It never ceases to amaze me how many people want to come in and say, I can help, I want to contribute. And that's the celebration of it all, is that everybody comes together in one unified group, whether you be a visitor or a practitioner, it makes no difference. Once you reach here, you're good.
We're here today conducting a workshop on how to process and how to turn native Hawaiian fibers into strong kaula, which is the rope that we have here on display today. Today we'll be demonstrating on how to use the hau fibers. These hau fibers are about 15 to 20 feet long, so they really make for good, long, strong pieces of rope. Celebration of the Arts, I think, is a fantastic opportunity to come together and to share kinships with other people who have got a heart for the culture and the continued preservation of the culture.
I figure a fun song would be Hene Hene Ko Aka, so that'll be the song you guys will learn today. So the first thing is the bamboo.
The air be split by this angle over here. I'm gonna move it up all the way close. It doesn't take very much air to make the sound.
It's good for everything.
lot of the people in here, they're sharing their culture, teach everybody what we do so they can learn how we live, you know. So it's a good event here. It helps everybody.
I live on Molokai. I hand carve opi shells, oyster shells, bones. I appreciate Clifford, Festival of the Arts, Ritz-Carlton.
This is an ukulele I made a few months ago, and it's out of curly koa. It's matching front, sides, back, and the neck. Took about 4 months to make.
I do feather art, which is hulu. Hulu means feather. And I try to keep the traditional ways of how we make lace from way back when. So I have a couple different styles here. I have poi poi, kamoi, lokilani, and then I also have humu papa, which is a hat band that goes on a hat.
I do lauhala weaving. I make hats and mats and all kinds of stuff. I've been doing it for about 23 years now. I learned from some of the elders, and they taught me all kinds of styles of weaving.
This evening, they're having their great Taste of the Island luau with some exciting and amazing, incredible food that you guys should come and check out. And you'll see it coming up here on HawaiiOnTV.com networks.
Hawaiian to me is understanding when someone is trying to enlighten you and knowing when the time it is for you to enlighten somebody else and taking pride in that. And at the end of the day, say to yourself, what kind of ancestor will I be?
This morning was the opening and the celebration of the arts. Just like any big event, you know, when you bring a lot of Hawaiians together, especially, you got to start it off on the right note. Doing the cleansing, going into the water, it cleans everybody's hard drive. Everybody calibrated on the same level of thinking. It reconnects us back to our kupuna.
They're requesting permission to enter this house. They are welcome from the house to proceed forward.
It's not just about coming to a beach resort or to enjoy sun and sand, right? But to truly experience something that you can't find anywhere else on Earth. And really anywhere else in the Hawaiian Islands, right? This is something that is unique and special right here to this side of Maui, to Kapalua. And I think in this, it represents our ongoing commitment to the Hawaiian culture. And it's not about just what we take, it's about what we get back.
I want just to let everyone know that I thank each and everyone who supports me and have helped me through my endeavor to carve stone and to perpetuate that and be able to give of myself to others so that they live through the work that they learn from me.
I'm an instrument maker, and the nose flute, the ohehano ihu, is one of the instruments that I make.
From the mountain to the ocean, going to the riverside. On the air.
Yes. 26 years of the celebration of the arts, how it's morphed from what it was to what it is today is because of all the practitioners and the trust that they have in this organization and the place, Honoka'ua. Get to share and learn about the history of Hawaiian culture, and almost important, of course, is the future of the Hawaiian culture. So it's contemporary, it's historical, it's spiritual, it's mental, it's physical. It's everything about celebrating from arts to food, to fun, to music, to people.
This is a wonderful way to continue our Hawaiian culture in this way. There's a beautiful gathering of people, not only from Hawaii's community and different islands, but from other parts of the world. This is a wonderful way to support our Hawaiian culture.
She did so much for the Hawaiian people. She passed on the legacy of her language, history,
Before
music.
there were people here.
The living embodiment of what it is to be a Hawaiian.
She perpetuated the Hawaiian culture. She was Hawaii.
Aloha was more than a word, it was a way of being.
Auntie Nona is the essence of aloha.
Aloha also encompasses standing up for what you know is right. Auntie Nona did that.
Deep sense of place in that lady.
I read about how courageous she was.
She was the first to do the stand-up hula, and she was criticized for that.
She just spoke her mind.
She doesn't even know how special she is.
She's really remarkably beautiful.
My doll, my baby
Love has always been the motivating factor of everything she does.
In Hawaiian mythology, an Amakua is a deified ancestor who has died and come back in a different form. They are sometimes even thought of as a family god.
It could even be a plant, it could even be a stone. But you know, Amakua come in many different forms, and they're there to guide you, to help you, to protect you. Also, they are the link between yourself and your family and God.
Amakua is how our culture relates to the higher being.
When I look at Amakua, it's more like family. They become guardians.
For all the magical powers Amakua are said to possess, the greatest may be their ability to connect human beings and the natural world.
My mom and dad raised me and talked to me about my Amakua. So whenever I'm around the Amakua, it gives me strength. It gives me peacefulness.
The word Amakua, the very essence of Amakua, is the backbone of each person. It is the knowledge that they have given you. It's in your gut. It's in your mind. It's the protector that comes to you in the form of a cloud, in the form of an animal, in the form of a plant, in the form of thought.
In Hawaiian mythology, an Amakua is a deified ancestor who has died and come back in a different form. They are sometimes even thought of as a family god. A traditional Hawaiian saying tells us that an Amakua is Ano Lani, Ano Hanua. This means an Amakua is a being of both a heavenly and an earthly nature. These guardian spirits display miraculous powers, appearing in dreams to give warning or advice, assuming in waking life the shape of an animal, a plant, or an elemental form such as a cloud or ocean wave. Amakua frequently manifest themselves as animals such as the shark, mano, the owl, whale, the gecko lizard, mo'o, the sea turtle, honu, the octopus, he, or the eel, puhi.
When you say ka'au makua, see, so what is makua? You know? Makua kani, makua wahin. Means father and mother.
Yeah.
Okay. But it means the man who cares.
Okay.
It's not the man who seeds you, but the man who feeds you. Feeding comes 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
The other one comes in the twinkle of an eye. Okay, so kawaini, the woman who cares. Akua, the light that cares. Amakua, the lights that came. When you say, I want to talk about the Amakua, no, you want to talk about a rivalry between Kakalika and Kalavina, which means Catholic and Protestant. That's why the persons shy away from talking about, because you're talking about the sensitive beliefs that are not just necessarily verbalized. It's about who you believe is watching you and sent you to see you. It requires prayer.
Amakua was your ancestral guardian, or more like your spiritual escort. Yeah. So when you hala, when you would pass, your body would go into a sleep for a year. Then you awaken by your Amakua, which would take you back to Po, back to creation, where we all came from. Yeah, the spiritual family, where there's a big feast waiting for us. Yeah, and you need to know the name of your Amakua. Yeah, so a family member that was either deified as an Amakua. Because not all the turtles can be your Amakua, not all the sharks is your Amakua, but the one that is the one that you call upon, that comes in to bring you the message. Yeah.
Aloha na ohana. This is my Amakua storyboard, and it basically honors all the different Amakua in my family. Okay, we have the Eva birds, we have the owl. Right? This is all the eyes of the ancestors from the Marquesas Islands. Because what I do is I honor the Amakua that goes all the way back before migration. Now this, if you notice, is also here on my back.
Aye.
Okay? It's the same one. All the different eyes of all the different animals. Okay? We come down here to the shark. Come down here to the Kauai. That's the Kauai. Kauai Kea, who's the white Kauai, and then of course the Hono. Na makua i ka po, na makua i ke au, na kumakua, na kumali, na la na velau, na iwi o tamotu, na tupuna i hala, na tupuna i ola. E ano mako ga pula ya o ko. E ho mai ka ike, e ho mai ka akamai, e ho mai ka mau popopono, e ho mai ka ike papalua, e ho mai ka mana, e ho mai ka malohia noa, e ho mai ka aloha. My Amakua chant. Every time I see the live Amakua, I do that chant to them in honor of them. We are who we were, and the Amakua represents who we were. We have a special pueo that lives on this land. Every night she comes out. We have the Eva birds that come by. We have the Kauai. And I'm just blessed with all the Amakua that come to visit me.
Amakua is an ancestral family guardian. Our kupuna had felt that, when one passes, an ancestor passes, they may come back in a form of nature, whether it's a shark, whether it's a pueo, an owl. It could even be a plant, could even be a stone. But Amakua come in many different forms, and they're there to guide you, to help you, to protect you, even to scold you if you do something that's not right. But it's to keep you on the path that is pono. And so that is that's their kuleana, but also they are the link between yourself and your family and God.
These things come through mo'olelo, visions, dreams, stories. And each and every one teaches me about the life, the experiences of what they have experienced. And that stays in my mind. And I bring that through the stone.
Perhaps because of their fearsome nature, sharks are a frequent subject of these tales.
Amakua, from how I was raised, would be your family's individual deity or god, body form or kinolau of your Amakua. So my Amakua, when I was taught, is a shark for our family. And there's other Amakuas like lizard or mo'o or he'e or honu. But in my family, it's a shark. We're fishermen too, our fisherman family.
You know, the danger of working in the ocean, either you get the bends or eaten by the shark. But all the years I went by, I see the sharks around me. Even one time I dived, had 22 sharks around me. Not real close, but maybe like 20 feet away. And just checking out, looking at the sharks underwater with my mask, my aqualung tanks, and they kind of frisky on that end. But the main thing I keep my eyes on them. The sharks is always afraid of humans. You know, they're always swimming away. If they don't, you can chase it away if you don't want them around. And then a thought about them, you know, our Amakua is a shark. And when Amakua, you have to trust them, and because they can be with you all the time and around you. But watch for them because they're pretty swift and fast. Yeah, especially the little ones. They come close to you and they want to be friendly, but they want to nibble on your fins once in a while. But they're just having fun because we have fun underwater.
I've had good friends and Hawaiian friends that had the Hawaiian owl as their Amakua, the whale. And that would usually, especially if there was danger ahead, it would let you know. You know, and the way you could tell, if it flew across your path and looked you in the eyes, he was telling you, watch out, slow down. You know, if it went with you in the same direction, everything was good. But it always is to let you know if there's anything up ahead. So we've had experiences like that where it's helped us avoid accidents, you know, where it would fly across and tell us to slow down.
The appearance of an animal one regarded as an Amakua was often believed to be an omen of good or ill. There are also many stories of Amakua in animal form intervening to save their descendants from harm, and it is extremely bad luck to harm a manifested Amakua.
My Amakua is something that I am always learning about because I know I have more than one Amakua. When I was young, my mother taught me that the pueo was, she taught me in a different kind of way because we were hassling a pueo in the forest. And when we came home and she heard about it, she was not happy. My cousin told me about the mano in Hakipu, where I come from. And the mano helps take care of our place. So Amakua is how our culture relates to the higher being. In my prayers, I do prayer to Keakua, Amakua, the kupuna, and everyone. Kakua Pau, everyone around. And to me, all of this is sacred.
My Amakua, I would say, would be the mo'o, because wherever I go, this mo'o is always looking at me. I sleep in this, they're watching me. I wake up in the morning, they're watching me. And maybe I have a double Amakua, maybe the mo'o and the pui. Every time I stay diving, the puis always come out of the hole for visit. And I say, hello, you want some fish? I give one fish and I move on. They come out of the hole because they're telling me, get out of here, this is my fish. So, I don't really know who is my Amakua. Could be the mo'o who's always watching me when I'm sleeping, when I'm getting up. Or a pui who is always watching me when I stay poking fish. So I probably get the kind. Two Amakuas. That's the two animals that I always notice that I see all the time when I'm doing my activities.
It's the Nohu. And the Nohu also used to follow my mom whenever she went to the beach to do pick up opihi or anything she did at the beach. It would follow her and go as far as she would and bring her back. And so when I see the Nohu here, it's like I would say good morning, hi, I'm sorry, please, I'm coming. And if I'm catching a surf and they're there, oh, I'm sorry, you know, but they're so wonderful and it's a peaceful feeling strength.
Amakua are worshipped at localities where they were believed to dwell, whether it be inside a family home, deep in a forest, or out on the open sea. A symbiotic relationship exists between the personal guardians of each individual and their family, as well as the ancient source gods from whom Hawaiians were descended.
My understanding of Amakua, I think because we're very stuck in the translation of family gods. You know, when I was raised, that was how it was taught to me, oh, the family gods. And as I started to grow and understand more of it, being raised by my grandma and grandpa down in Waikoloa, her brother was a shark, was born a shark. So, and she had told me about how, because she's the oldest of all her brothers and sisters, but she told me about how her and her mom used to go down to the beach and she used to breastfeed the shark. You know, so this shark is not just a shark, it's a brother. You know, so like literally gave birth, taken down, breastfed, taken care of, but down in that environment. When I look at Amakua, it's more like family. They become guardians because in the realm that they dwell in, you know, so the sharks, they dwell in the ocean, but they're still family. That's my grandmother's brother. So when they're in that realm, they would call him and he would come and they would, you know, play and do their thing. And when they really needed him to be able to scare fish into, you know, so the family could eat, he was there. So my take of Amakua is not family gods, it's family, and they become guardians. And that's where the family guardian thing had turned into family gods, I think. And it's just because of the way that we are spiritually, you know, you have the spiritual gods, you know, these people that, but in Amakua, they're more just ohana, you know, so in my sense, it's very close in my lineage where we had, you know, my 2 generations from me, where my grandmother's sibling was born and raised that way, and her mom raised her brother, and the brothers were never afraid of the ocean. They never was. Sharks is nothing to them. You know, they swim with the sharks. And that was the reason why, is because they had this guardian, they had the brother.
Amakua can be many things. It's the guardian of many deities of our ancestors that take care of plants, trees, ocean. That's the Amakua. The Amakua is that guardian, whether it's for the water, whether it's for medicinal, you know, that Amakua is that guardian that watches over your family and connects you to these places where they're prevalent, but you can see it and know it within your inner being.
Some families are known to have as many as 50 Amakua. Never harmed or eaten, all members of their animal species are treated with respect by the human family they represent. In turn, Amakua warn and sometimes even reprimand their family members in dreams, visions, and calls. As intimate members of human families, they have spiritual relationships that are especially close, and their presence is sought for feast and festivity, as well as in time of crisis. They act as healers and advisors, counteracting problems and punishing faults.
Each family may have a different Amakua. Some are kept private, some are spoken out in public. And it's a matter of how you do your prayers, I guess. It's a matter of how you were taught. For me, I honor my Amakua by his name. His name is Makapo. But I need not tell you how he manifests himself or herself in the world today. I know his name, I know how to call out to him. He answers me, and that is the main thing, from the intent of the sender, the originator of the prayer, to the receiver, the Amakua. And the answers will come. Again, it's entirely up to you to understand it.
Every time I go fishing on my boat, I always pay homage to my ancestors and only enchant to them. Every time I go on my boat, 1,000%. And yeah, it's like going to church when you go in the ocean. So the ocean is my church. So yeah,
I was raised on the Big Island of Puna, in Puna on the Big Island since I was 7, and so I was a Haole transplant, but I became close to Hawaiian culture from a fairly young age. One of my best friends was Hawaiian, so I sang with his big family, and later on I got involved in hula for May Day. We just danced hula every year, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and so I got really interested in the culture at that time. But then I didn't really understand Amakua until maybe I was a senior in high school. And I was inspired to write a chant for May Day for Waitea High School. So yeah, I was at my neighbor's house down the road up in Puna, up in the uplands of the rainforest. And this Hawaiian hawk had flown right close to us and screeched out. It was the first time I had ever experienced that, and it gave me chicken skin. And I went home and I told my mom about it. My mom started crying and said she had this vision of me doing this chant. So I talked to my kumos about it, and they told me just write it down right in Hawaiian, and I wrote it down straight in Hawaiian. And from that point on, the Hawaiian hawk seemed to follow me around. I used to always have experiences. You know, you would just pull it inside, it would just be right there, and I could come out and talk to it. You know, it would come, so it became like an Amakua for me. And my understanding of Amakua was a guardian or like an ancestor that kind of watches over you and gives you guidance along the way.
For all the magical powers Amakua are said to possess, the greatest may be their ability to connect human beings and the natural world. Once their earthly obligations are complete, Amakua are eventually permitted to continue on to the realm of spirits in gratitude for their divine service.
You tell me a story, you've seen a red dog in Honokahau, and it only comes in the evening. 3 months later, I'm walking, I see a red stone. It's telling me that's the red dog that used to walk in Honokahau. I will carve that dog because you shared that story with me. It would live through my hands. You tell me about a shark and you were surfing, and it was out at Honokahau. I'll ask you, what was the description of that shark? Did it have a stripe on it? Did it have a broken fin? I will carve it when I see that stone. That will tell you, and then I will find the name of that shark that lived in Honokahau. I will ask the kupunas. It's called mo'oike. It's something that's so eternal that it awakens through you because you have that essence. It just comes out because you have lived it somewhere in the past or in the now, that it's eternal, and it just evolves through makahanakaike by doing the work. The more you do of it, the more it exposes and reveals more things to take you to different levels. And that's the reward, the blessing, that you do this work, but the work blesses you because it shows you many things in visions, in dreams, in talking stories.
That is what family Amakua is to me. They're family that become guardians and become those who help to take care of the family. But not really where we praise them, but we thank them. You know, from the catches, you know, they let you catch a whole canoe full, you give them half a canoe, whatever it is. That offering is just a mahalo, which is kind of like the compensation of kokua. You know, you kokua, you get a part of the catch. And why wouldn't it be for a shark if they were the ones who helped to kokua?
As a Hawaiian, Amakua is very special, and my mom and dad raised me and talked to me about my Amakua. So whenever I'm around the Amakua, it gives me strength. It gives me peacefulness. And while I'm in the water, it's just a wonderful feeling that this Amakua is there to protect me.
You know, with the Amakua guiding us, you know, leading us into making the right choices for our ohana, for our community, which is the planet Earth. Yeah, brother.
The word Amakua, the very essence of Amakua, is the backbone of each person. It is the knowledge that they have given you. It's in your gut. It's in your mind. It's the protector that comes to you in the form of a cloud, in the form of an animal, in the form of a plant, in the form of thought. And these are the things that are given to you. These are the signs that are given to you, the messages that are given to you. But it's up to the individual to understand when the messages are coming in. And whether you listen to them or not, that is what makes your trials or your happiness in life.
Lehua! O hele oe! Mehe makani ala!
Wakakala.
Awane I kolawa hoi.
Oh, pololi.
Kai kunane pu.
Omiko ne, koholike me kapuna. Iki.
Lava.
Paio pale aku ho ika.
Lava.
Hakakoloko.
Neli aina. Hele hakoloko. Ai mai vai mana veiki. Me kuumole.
Ai.
Loina o poina nalu. Lilo loa. Koli. Piano. Heo kai nae. Kawala na pukai kia. Kau kalai leo. Halo ini maka. Malina mai la kanalu. Au pole oi. Veli ona pale ake aloha na ka mehele. Lole o ona. Ki au e ka wailu ku mau. No, e ho mau. No, e ho mau. No.
O mai la ko laua me heu.
Wow, mia mato ya oi. He, punta hoi oi.
Oko, Veho.
Ora mātou ina tuanu nei toto ewe tap. Ari o ni moi au oi wai. Ite hia o tūnau nauna.
Ka mea tuhi ho o kai kā ka mai a kanaka.
Maori te koko!
Himopuaki.
motto where developers can get bank loans to get richer off our bones. Go be a teacher before you have Mercedes. Go be a doctor before you have a baby.
So my sister, she lost her home in the fire. Her home is located right in the middle of Lahaina town off of Dickinson Street and Luakini, and that's a home that's been in our family for generations.
Watching your town burn down was for me was like, how can you explain that, you know? And it's heartbreaking.
I lived right in town, so my family and I got out just in time. We lost everything. We lost our home. You know, everything we had, we lost. We were just fortunate that we're all together and alive.
Lahaina, to me, that is my home. That's where I'm from. And, you know, it's very important because that's where my family is too. You know, we lost a lot down there. Can't get it back, but we can try and rebuild how we want to rebuild.
Lahaina grown to me is uniqueness. I mean, where we're from, everybody in Lahaina is like one big family. We have deep roots in Lahaina.
Lahaina's not done. We're gonna rebuild. So now that's I think where our music will kind of help with the rebuild and the heart of Lahaina, that we're Lahaina strong.
What Lahaina grown means to me, you know, just where we're from, born and raised, you know, just the tradition of Lahaina, you know, growing up from that place, yeah.
Thanks and praise on the island of Maui, a very hopeful place for this Hawaiian race. Olowalu to Napili, we know your family from the mountain to the sea. Kanahakahoma and Kauaula, it's our destiny to set the waters free. A message to all, Lahaina Grome is where we're from. To our people, here we come. Turn the lights down low. You know we're jamming from the heart. Let our music touch your soul. To be solid from the heart, we have pride for the west side. To be solid from the heart, we have pride for the west side. 'Cause who you are is where you come from, and you must never look down on anyone. 'Cause what you reap is what you sow. Just some things you ought to know. A message to all, Lahaina Grome is where we're from. To our people, here we come. We turn the lights down low. You know we're jamming from the heart. Let our music touch your soul. And music touch your soul. Music touch your soul. Lahaina Palm Crater Village, you know when Pukoli, that's where we used to be. Oh, Hana down Mala, hold them down together, unity, the way it's supposed to be. A message to all, Lahaina Grome is where we're from. To our people, here we come. We turn the lights down low. You know we're jamming from the heart. Let our music touch your soul. To be solid from the heart, we have pride for the west side. To be solid from the heart, we have pride for the west side. For our people as one we strive, we never fail with our Ohana vibe. So like a river fill the flow, we are Lahaina Grove.
jamming from the heart. Let our music touch your soul. Music touch your soul. Music touch your soul. Lahaina Pump Crater Village. You know when Pukoli, that's where we used to be. Oh, Hana down, Mala, hold them down together, unity, the way it's supposed to be. A message to all, Lahaina Gromies, where we're from, to our people, here we come. We turn the lights down low, you know we're jamming from the heart, let our music touch your soul. To be solid from the heart, you have pride for the west side. To be solid from the heart, you have pride for the west side. Cause for our people is one we strive. We never fail with our Ohana vibe. So like a river fill the flow, we all Lahaina grow. A message to all Lahaina Gromies, where we're from, to our people, here we come. We turn the lights down low, you know we're jamming from the heart. Let our music touch your soul, and music touch your soul, music touch your soul. Hello everybody, thank you. Aloha.
Lahaina grown to me is uniqueness. I mean, where we're from, everybody in Lahaina is like one big family.